Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading. This is your 2024 Jumpstart guide. This is going to be how can you get a jumpstart on 2024, and we're just going to see what comes up here for you, Aquarius. Also, I will be doing full-on 2024 readings like I do every year, but this is just going to be like a what can you do to, like I said, kind of get a jumpstart on the year to get ahead before the year starts. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And again, it's not meant to be good or bad. You have the Tower, but who cares? Again, this is, what actions can you take? It's not about like, oh, having a Tower moment, blah, blah, blah. You start off with the Six of Wands, which is really good. Six of Wands is a card of attention, victory, and success. There could be some sort of victory or success coming in for you at this time. There could also be some recognition coming in for you. Right now, I would be careful of jealousy, is what I would say to you. This person back here, right here, is meant to look jealous. So I would be careful if, like, you are dealing with something like internet, gossip or jealousy or any of that stuff. I feel like that could be holding you back. But I definitely see, like, winning showing up here in this reading. You have the Fool, and the Fool is your crossing energy. The crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you. So there's clearly a new beginning, or there needs to be a new beginning here. You have the Tower, which says there needs to be a new beginning. We'll talk about it in a minute. You have the Eight of Swords as well, which is like kind of like being stuck in something when there are like other ways to live your life. You have the Knight of Pentacles as well. It's like you're ready. This whole entire reading to me is like saying you're ready for something. It's almost like you're ready for a breakthrough, or you're ready to have a breakthrough. Something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say here, but it's like you're ready for something new. I feel like you need to be careful of this right here. This little dog here. That dog is nipping at his heels, and the dog represents a Maltese. Back in the day, Malteses were dogs are like royalty. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like you're ready for this big adventure. Like, he's much bigger than the dog, obviously. It's like I feel like you're ready for this adventure or new adventure in your life, but it's like there are little kind of things, people, little bugs, of people or something that are kind of like nipping at your heels, telling you like not to go on an adventure, or telling you about all the dangers of the big scary world that or something like that. And I don't know, it's popping into my head. It's like this is good and challenging at the same time. Like, I don't think it's bad or good, the Fool. I feel it's like saying you're ready. The whole point of the Fool is that he's got this tiny little sack on his back, which says he's about to go through the whole entire major arcana, and he's only bringing that tiny little sack on his back. So he's like over prepared. He has everything he needs right here. And so it's like you're ready to go on an adventure, but there could be people, that are kind of holding you back. Again, and he's got these tattered like sleeves right here. And so the tattered sleeves kind of represents the fact that he's already been through it once. Like he already knows what to do. And so again, don't doubt things. Like if people are telling you like, oh, it's dangerous to do whatever you're doing or whatever, you've probably already done it before. You probably don't even need to worry about it. Next, in the area of your thoughts, you have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is an energy of the wounded warrior, of course, or, the energy of being guarded. This is coming up in the area of your thoughts. So you could be thinking about putting boundaries up against something. Here, for some of you, it's kind of interesting because it's like I do feel like some of you could be trying to avoid a Tower moment, but it's like maybe a Tower moment is what needs to happen. And, I kind of get that energy here. You go to the Tower to the Knight of Pentacles. It's like, the Knight of Pentacles would be rebuilding or replanting. We'll talk about that in a minute, but, it's kind of giving me the vibes of like not being afraid to do that. I also feel the Nine of Wands is saying that you're like much more capable than you think. The Nine of Wands is my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. It's like my card of experimentation. So, don't be afraid to try new things. In the area of your foundation, you have the Four of Swords. So I feel like you have healed from something. This is a card of resting, relaxing, recovering. So I feel like you've either gone through a healing or you are healing. This is a card of hoping and praying for blessings as well. I do feel like, again, that some of you, like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, going this way, clearly, is saying that you need to get out of an old situation. The whole point of the Tower, sorry, is that the Tower is falling because the people inside the Tower have built those walls up around them too high, and they're ignoring reality. So the card itself can say that you've been ignoring reality, and now it's time to, get back to reality. So it's like there's some sort of reality that could be keeping you stuck with that Eight of Swords, And so I feel like this is saying that you don't have to be stuck. I just said to Capricorn that it's like, people always accuse me of being too positive in these readings. I'm like, well, tarot isn't positive or negative. And number two, the other problem is that you're looking at tarot as predictive. Is tarot kind of predictive? Kind of, but really it's just predicting energy. It's just saying like this energy exists, but it's not positive or negative. You have a choice. You can sit your ass down and just stay stuck and you can end up drowning with the Eight of Swords, or you can, realize that you're not stuck. You can set yourself free and make things better. So I don't know. The choice is yours. If you want this reading to be negative, sure, your life is going to suck. There you go for you negative people. But you have the Sun here. The Sun is coming up in the energy of your past. I feel like you need to let your inner child out a little bit more. Like, don't be afraid to be messy. Don't be afraid to, make mistakes. Don't be afraid to do things the wrong way. There is no right or wrong way to do something. So I kind of feel this is encouraging you to adventure, but in the sense that, like, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not know what to do. Again, this is the energy of the past. In the past position of a Celtic cross, it's like the energy that you are moving past, the energy that you are, kind of like moving away from. You have the Tower again in the very near future. I don't really feel this is a Tower moment. I honestly kind of feel like it's a breakthrough. Could that be due to some sort of Tower moment? Absolutely. But I kind of feel this energy of, a breakthrough or some sort of release. Like, it almost feels good to me. So, it's like maybe you've been delaying something and, there is a Tower moment, but at the same time, it kind of releases you or it sets you free. Like, that's a vibe I'm getting here. And, so that's what I get there. Next, over the next few months, you have the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like it's time to get to work. Knight of Pentacles, the whole point of the Knight of Pentacles is that just like the Fool, he has everything he needs between its own two ears. But he's being too cautious. He's playing it too safe. And all he has to do is plant seeds in this field behind him and they will grow. It's like he's the only knight in the tarot that is not moving. The only thing that makes me feel more positive about this reading, by the way, is the fact that your outcome is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is like the polar opposite of the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Wands is willing to make mistakes. He's willing to, he's willing to experiment and he's willing to see how things will go in his life. He's not too attached to the outcome. He's not like, things have to work this way. He's willing to make mistakes. He's willing to see like what will happen. He's willing to, he's willing to experiment and just look at things not too seriously. Maybe that's what I'm getting here is that you could be taking things too seriously or something along those lines, right? Or you could be like attached too much to outcomes or something like that, in this energy. Like, I don't know if you can see my face right now and my hands, right? But if you don't know, I have a condition that causes like random allergic reactions to nothing. The other day on Thanksgiving, I had an allergic reaction to the air. So I literally hadn't eaten all day and I went outside and then my face blew up. So, yes, I have a doctor. People always leave comments like, do this, do that. No, don't worry. I have a doctor. Trust me, this is a condition I have. I've been dealing with it forever. But anyway, random side note. The whole point is I am convinced, by the way, that this is all due to me taking things too seriously. Every time I get into a space in my life where I like start taking something too seriously, this happens, right? So it's, and I am doing things to correct it mentally because again, I'm mostly convinced that it's mental. I don't even think that it's necessarily like really allergies, right? Like the doctors say that it is. Again, this is what happens when you're like an Aquarius rising like me and you take things too seriously, right? So again, don't do that. I feel like this is saying like be more playful. Don't, life is not as serious as people make it out to be. It's meant to be, people always say like life is so hard and all this other stuff. I'm like, well, it's not meant to be. I believe that we're meant to bring more joy, happiness into the earth. That's why we're here right now. So like, yes, earth is hard. Earth school is hard, but I think we have the power to turn around if we believe we do. You have the Five of Swords here. This is coming up in the area of your closest relationships. So I feel like this could definitely be a breakup. That could be part of the Tower moment. What's really weird to me, Aquarius, is that some of you, maybe you had a breakup like a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago or 6 years ago. And it's almost like it's causing a Tower moment now. But like, is this a bad or a good thing? I'm not sure. It looks to me like you are maybe having a realization about like a breakup or why it happened or, what went on. And this could be something from the past is what I'm getting. What's really interesting is if you look here, there's like, you could argue that this is the same guy on the card at 3 different stages. It's like in the backstage here, he's lost. In this stage here, he's learned how to walk away. In the last stage here, he's like winning, right? And I don't know. It's like there's something about the stages that are popping into my head. I'm not saying like the stages of grief, but it's almost like you've been through something. Could have been years ago with a person. I feel like you're understanding like what it means to your soul's growth or to whatever you've been through or whatever. So definitely popping into my head. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Eight of Swords. So again, this is something that could be avoided. Again, I feel like you need to set yourself free. The only reason she's stuck is because she's only seeing one way of doing things when there are many ways for her to do things. So I feel like you need to open up to all the ways there are to do pretty much everything in your life. And here you go. You have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is about going on like a crazy adventure. So I definitely feel it is time for you to go on some sort of adventure here and be spontaneous. This is like, really, I feel this is your most important card here. I think that this is the card that you should be paying attention to is the Knight of Wands. Go on an adventure, be spontaneous, be childlike, be fun. Like whatever it is that you're wanting to start right now, it's not even popping into my head as like one thing or the other. I feel it's saying that embracing the energy of the Knight of Wands, looking into mysteries. I also look at him as the builder as well in the tarot. He is like, if he doesn't know how to do something, he's willing to build a way to do it. And I think that if you could embrace that energy, you're going to have a really good year. So let's see. With the Six of Wands and the Fool, you have this originality card. I mean, you are an Aquarius. This is Aquarius right here. So and this is actually Mercury in Aquarius. So, any original ideas that you are having, I would embrace those ideas. They could be bringing a lot of success, growth, abundance, everything into your life. So, embrace those unique ideas. With the Nine of Wands, you have this charity card. I actually feel like people are being very generous. I feel like the universe wants to be very generous to you as well. So if you have any like ideas or any inner guidance or anything like that, like look, there are these like angels that are kind of reaching down to this lady and her children or something. So, I feel like maybe you need to, tap into the universe or tap into your higher self. Maybe it's time to ask the universe for help or something like that. So, that's what I get here. It's kind of reminding me of a story. There's a book by Mitch Horowitz. I'm not going to remember the name of it. Sorry, Mitch, by the way. I don't know what time Mitch is, but I bet I know he watches tarot. I don't know if he watches me, but I'm a big fan of you, Mitch, by the way. Random side note. But, he has a book about luck. And in that book, he talks about, like all these stories, like in the Bible and outside the Bible as well, of people that like demand the universe bring them success, and then it happens. So it's like sometimes I think we just have to ask for it. And that's what I kind of am getting here, is that I think you need to ask the universe for success. With the Four of Swords, you have this discrimination card. This is like a good card. It's not like discrimination like we think about it. It's like being able to tell the difference between something that's good and something that's wrong for you. So I feel like you're much better at being able to tell the difference between something that's right and something that's wrong. With the Sun card, you have this empathy card here. So I feel like some of you are, like, I feel like you need to be kind to yourself. And also I'm getting, like, if you have a friend or a family member that has a lot of empathy for you, or is like, it's almost like you need a listening ear. I feel like you need someone to listen to you for once or something like that. Maybe people are always coming to you for advice, or, maybe people are always coming at you to, help them with their problems, or, whatever it is. But I kind of feel like maybe you're hoping that for once people will listen to you, And I actually feel like I feel like they are. I feel like people are, available to you. With the Tower card, you have this Independence card. Yeah, not bad. Moon in Aquarius, by the way, so more Aquarian energy. I feel like you could just be kind of like focusing on your independence after a Tower moment. Like, see how she looks like a statue kind of on this card? It's almost like you're, maybe you've had a Tower moment and you're just trying to rebuild yourself first before you, go dating, but not even love. Like I feel like maybe you're just trying to get yourself to a place of strength and, being truly independent. It's like maybe you're trying to fix those things in yourself that make you not independent, if that makes sense. So, that's definitely popping into my head. I don't know. I kind of see it as a good thing. It's like you're strengthening yourself. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have this idealism card. There will never be a perfect moment for you to do something. I say this to you every time. We could say that then the reason the Knight of Pentacles is not making a move is because he's like waiting or trying for things to be perfect. This idealism card is your card. It is the Sun in Aquarius. You have all these Aquarian cards right here, actually. And, I feel like this is saying, like, nothing will ever be perfect. There will never be a perfect environment, perfect opportunity. The time is now. So I would get working on, whatever it is you're thinking about doing, because things will never be perfect. With the Five of Swords, you have this indecision card every single time I read for you. So, but again, the good news is there's this angel right here. So I really feel you need to come out of despair, for those of you that are in despair. And I feel like you need to tap into your own inner guidance. I feel like you need to tap into your guides, ancestors, angels, whoever it is that you tap into. Because I feel like you are receiving guidance. For some of you, I'm wondering if you feel like you lost guidance or something like that. Like maybe you had a person that you can no longer talk to, and, unfortunately, maybe they passed away or something like that, I'm getting. Or, maybe this was a separation or something like that. And so I really feel that the universe is trying to get you to trust in the universe, is trying to get you to trust in your own feelings, what you feel you want to do with your life and all that other stuff. And, it's like sometimes I think that can be a problem, like after a breakup or, if you lose a person, it's like you almost feel like you lose that part of your identity. But that was never part of your identity in the first place. It was just that person. So I feel like you need to, a lot of you, this is a pretty deep reading, because I feel like you're kind of like trying to figure out like who you are. With the Eight of Swords, you have this health card. Yes, I would watch your health at this time and pay attention to it. Every single person has had like one. This deck has a million cards that basically, all have the word health on them or something very similar. So, and what the heck? It does not want to focus on this card, but I would definitely take care of yourself. I don't even think this is like a good or a bad thing. I think it's just saying, just take care of your health. You will be fine if you do that. With the Knight of Wands, you have this power card. Yes, this is where your true power is going to come from. Being spontaneous, not being locked into only one way of doing things, not taking things too seriously, having more fun in your life. Like that is, I kind of feel like this is your golden ticket right here, is the Knight of Wands to the power card. I think the more you can do of that, the better, right? The more spontaneous, fun type energy. I want to see what this card is as well. It's popped off. I've run my hand over it a couple times, so we're gonna take it. It says thicket. It says uncertainty on it. And the funny thing is that there are butterflies on this path, and you have these butterflies on this card here. So I feel for a lot of you, I actually feel this reading is encouraging you to go down the uncertain path. I feel like the uncertain path is the path that is going to lead to success. You have this parrot that says, someone will gossip about you on all your secrets. We had Mars retrograde in Gemini at the beginning of the year, end of last year, beginning of this year. I would just ignore it, plain and simple. Anytime there's a year where there's a Mars retrograde, which we kind of got screwed because it overlapped 2 years, then, I always say ignore gossip, plain and simple. I don't care that Mars isn't in Gemini anymore. The whole entire year, as far as I'm concerned, I would write it off. So, I would be very careful of, I would just ignore it. You have this pale card. It says time to get out of a situation, the Tower. The Tower is encouraging you to get out of a situation. So, again, this is not a criticism or anything like that. We've all been there, right? But if you feel like you're in a codependent situation or something like that, maybe it is time to leave that situation. Again, that's only for those of you that know that you're like in some sort of situation. For others, I feel like something just isn't working. And, I feel like the universe is wanting you to be more, kind of like more independent at this time. You have this throne card. It says position of authority. Some of you could be getting, you end with that Knight of Wands and that power card. So you could be trying to build up some sort of authority, or you could be trying to become an authority figure in some area of your life. Authority can be anything. It can be like being the leader of your family. It can be having a family. It can be starting a business and being seen as an authority. So like whatever it is, I feel like this is saying that you need to take your power back. Again, I think this reading is very simple. The way for you to take your power back is to invite more of that childlike energy back into your life, and to also be spontaneous. Don't be fixed on how things are going to be accomplished in your life. The beautiful thing is that you have this January card. I always clarify these monthly cards, and it says chain of events that will affect your life. This is a good card in this deck, so I feel that by the time we get into the new year, it's like things are really going to come together, and I feel you need to believe that, that things are going to kind of like go in the right direction here, Aquarius, that things can and will improve for you, and that things will get better. So, I think you need to believe that. Next, you have this Triumph Over Obstacles card, this eagle. So, yes, I feel like you don't realize what's coming around the corner. The story of the eagle is that eagles can fly very high, but it's like they can see around, like kind of like around the curve of the earth, but they can't actually see all the way around, the curve of the earth, but they can see very far. So it's like they can see far into the future, but they don't know everything that is about to enter into their life. And, I kind of feel this reading is a little bit of a breakthrough reading, like I said, but I feel this is a breakthrough that you need to create in your life. I feel like you need to also, whatever, I give up on this, but whatever. What I would say is I feel like you need to create this breakthrough. This is a breakthrough. It's not like a breakthrough that's just magically going to happen, right? It's a breakthrough that you need to create. I feel that part of this is being stuck in an old story is what's going on here. Whatever that story is, I don't know. But if you've been repeating something, just like these crazy allergic reactions, it's just I've noticed it's a story that has been repeating in my life, and I'm now dedicated to changing it, right? So what I would say here is that I feel that there's maybe part of your story, something that's been repeating, and I kind of feel like, ending that story is the thing that is going to lead to the most success for you. So pretty powerful reading, I would say. And I would work in new directions. I would just try new things and be spontaneous. Really think about your inner child, what's more fun for you, what could bring more fun into your life, all that other good stuff. But it looks interesting. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your year.